Harry Potter fans are an extremely observant and dedicated bunch, and they do not like to be left hanging when it comes to their favorite storylines. Watch until number 1 to see how a wizard's education presents a serious plot hole. If this is your first time visiting this channel, don't forget to subscribe to The Things, and please give this video a big thumbs up. Here are 10 plot holes in Harry Potter that left fans hanging. Harry's glasses. Unlike many magical and fantastical characters, the wizards of Harry Potter do not have any exceptional qualities when it comes to their appearance. Quite the opposite, in fact. One Tumblr user made a great observation that earned him over 110,000 notes and reblogs. He questioned why no one ever took advantage of Harry's short-sightedness and disarmed him by simply removing his glasses. We're wondering if spells and potions cause wizards to forget about more traditional forms of disarmament or bullying. Even with the use of magic, neither Draco nor Voldemort ever utilized the Accio Glasses spell. In a Quora article, Yin Shan Ho even points out that while Madame Pomfrey can heal the bones in Harry's broken arm, his eyesight is never corrected. However, in an interview, J.K. Rowling explains that the decision to give Harry glasses was because she herself wore glasses as a child. Tired of only reading about secondary nerdy characters with glasses, it was important for Rowling to create a hero with glasses, something she hadn't encountered in books she read. There's a symbolic explanation too, as we read the books from this point of view, literally looking through his eyes. Though glasses don't seem to line up with some plot points, the reasons behind them gives us enough reason to look past them. Time Turner troubles. As anyone who enjoys fantasy or science fiction will know, time travel is not a simple concept. Instead, traveling in time alters timelines, thus changing lives and events for anyone with any involvement in the original chronology. Already confused? Then it's easy to have sympathy for J.K. Rowling, who encountered complications when she introduced the concept of time travel with time turners in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. If going back in time was possible in the wizarding world, how then would Rowling be able to justify any of the plot points, as it would be feasible for a brave wizard to travel back in time and undo any catastrophe? Rowling admits to not having fully considered the ramifications of introducing time travel, but did her best to ensure loose ends that were tied by having Hermione and Dumbledore explain the severity of the consequences entailed in traveling through time. She also made sure that Hermione returned the only time turner Hogwarts had, as well as eliminating the chance that any time could be revisited by destroying all the time turners at the Ministry. Do you think J.K. Rowling did enough to solve this plot hole? Or should she have gone back in time to think it through a bit more thoroughly? How does Sirius get his wand back? When a prisoner checks into Azkaban, they are required to turn in their wands, just like Muggles are required to turn in their possessions. Further, this helps to ensure that they won't be casting spells while incarcerated. Having wands would also undermine the Dementors' ability to guard the prison. Yet when Sirius Black escapes from Azkaban in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, he manages to recover his wand. This detail is never explained in the book, but that hasn't stopped fans from speculating about how Sirius got his wand. One Harry Potter fanatic, Francisco Javier Bagori Navarro, suggests that one explanation could be that the Ministry had actually kept Sirius Black's wand on his behalf or purchased one from Ollivander. This is not out of the realm of possibility, as some of the members of the Ministry were also in the Order of the Phoenix and may have planned on aiding Sirius in his escape. Alternatively, it could have been a Black family heirloom that Sirius retrieved from his parents immediately after his escape. Nevertheless, the details of how Sirius got his wand back are never addressed in the book or movie. Do you have any theories of how Sirius got his wand back? Let us know in the comments. Ministry of Magic is selective in their reprimands. The Ministry of Magic declares that underage magic is prohibited. However, they are inconsistent in following up on situations when minors cast spells. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, readers are introduced to the Trace, a spell used by the Ministry to ensure that no one under the age of 17 is casting spells. Yet the use of the Trace in the books is inconsistent. Monique Setheswan speculates about these irregularities in a post on Stack Exchange. Though the Trace catches the Hover Charm when Dobby casts it at the Dursleys' home on Privet Drive, the Ministry is unable to determine whether Dobby or Harry is responsible for casting the spell. However, when Arthur Weasley pays the Dursleys a visit, he uses magic to invade the teacups thrown at him and return Dudley's tongue to its normal size. The Trace does not detect it. Even Dumbledore uses magic at the Dursleys in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, but Harry is never accused. The only accurately detected underage magic is when Harry blows up his aunt, and when he casts a Patronus. The trace does not work in magical homes either, making it less effective and making sure underage wizards aren't using magic. Veritaserum in court. Veritaserum is a carefully controlled potion whose purpose serves to force the person under its influence to exclusively tell the truth. As it's the wizard's equivalent of a lie detector, its lack of use in the courtroom is a confusing plot hole. Harry Potter uses magic when he conjures the Patronus charm in the Muggle world, which leads the Ministry to hold a trial to determine if Harry should be expelled from Hogwarts. The Ministry's official statement denied the return of Voldemort, which Harry Potter consistently contradicted. The Ministry's bias against Harry explains why they would be reluctant to use the Veritaserum, as truth might not have been in the Ministry's best interest. However, it would have been an easy way for Harry to defend his innocence in using magic only as defense. A useful implementation of Veritaserum could have been useful in Barty Crouch's trial that Harry witnesses through the pensieve in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Why would the Veritaserum not have been used to determine a serious case such as this one when Barty Crouch reveals the names of Death Eaters? It would have been much easier to determine whether or not these individuals were actually guilty, rather than just trusting a known criminal. Wizard economy is nonsense. It seems almost counterintuitive that wizards would require any type of currency when magic is at their disposal. However, gold is frequently mentioned as a means of exchange. When paying close attention, it seems that the economics of Harry Potter just don't quite make sense. For example, a song by Harry and the Potters highlights that while a single unicorn hair costs 10 galleons, a wand purchased at Ollivander's can cost only 7 galleons, even though some contain unicorn hair. This means the cell actually cost Ollivander money. This is just one detail in an even larger plot hole. If magic grants you anything you need, why would anyone work? Even more confusing, as Megan McArdle points out in an article from The Guardian, is how the Weasleys end up being so poor. While problems could be solved by a house elf or a useful spell, the Weasleys inexplicably have trouble affording new clothes and school books. A fan post on Stack Exchange speculates about the broomsticks and wands that are sold. Their origins go unexplained. The entire economic functioning of Diagon Alley is flawed if we take into consideration that the amount of wizards that graduate from Hogwarts each year would outnumber the available amount of wizard jobs. Thestrals, too soon to see them? Up until the Order of the Phoenix, Harry and fans alike believed that Hogwarts carriages were drawn by magic. However, it was revealed at the beginning of the novel that the carriages are actually pulled by Thestrals. Luna Lovegood explains how Thestrals can only be perceived after someone has witnessed a death. Fans noticed a plot hole as a carriage transported Harry to Hogsmeade at the end of the Goblet of Fire. Harry was unable to see any Thestrals at the end of the Triwizard Tournament, even though he had just witnessed Cedric Diggory's death. In an interview at the Edinburgh Book Festival, J.K. Rowling addressed this strange inconsistency. First of all, Harry had been present for the murder of his parents. Technically, he should have always been able to see the Thestrals, except that Rowling claims that Harry was too young to process what he had seen. As for Cedric's death, Rowling had two explanations for Harry's inability to perceive the Thestrals at the end of the book. Firstly, Harry would have been in a state of shock, so his brain would not have processed that he witnessed a death. Secondly, Rowling wanted to reserve the explanation of the Thestrals for the Order of the Phoenix, as a way to set a darker tone. The Missing Day. An extremely dedicated and attentive group of Harry Potter fans have discovered an incredibly confusing plot hole. Harry Potter's parents, Lily and James Potter, were murdered by Voldemort, October 31st, 1981. Hagrid rescues the 15-month-old boy who lived that same day, but they only appear on Privet Drive before midnight the next day, November 1st. This begs the question, where were Hagrid and Harry for 24 hours? Professor McGonagall, disguised as a cat, waited by Privet Drive all day. Dumbledore also tells Hagrid that he is late but nothing is explained. Even more confusing is the fact that Hagrid, who transported baby Harry by flying motorcycle, states that they had no issue with their travel and that he managed to get Harry out of the wreckage before any Muggles came to investigate the scene. A final contradiction is the fact that Hagrid only had to bring Harry from Southwest to Surrey. a journey which wouldn't take them anywhere near 24 hours even if they weren't traveling by flying motorbike. Do you have any theories about why there is a full day missing between the Potter's death and Harry's delivery to Privet Drive? Let us know. Peter Pettigrew is immune to the Marauder's map. No one would ever suspect a pet of being an undercover backstabbing wizard. Yet that's exactly what Scabbers was revealed to be. It was originally a Reddit user who pointed out this unanswered plot point. Fred and George managed to steal Filch's Marauder's map during Harry's first year. 4 years later, in Prisoner of Azkaban, they gifted to Harry. A fan's post on Science Fiction and Fantasy Stack Exchange even pointed out how Scabbers originally belonged to Percy. Technically, this means that Peter Pettigrew's name should have shown up on the map for 4 years. However, the Weasley twins never questioned or confronted Percy or Ron about that fact that someone named Peter was often right next to them, even sleeping in the same bed at night. It seems strange that the name Peter never even came up in conversation, or why Fred and George didn't think it was strange when Peter didn't show up in the Great Hall during meals. He would have often appeared next to Ron if they consulted the Marauder's map. There's even proof that Peter did show up on the map and wasn't just conjuring a charm to prevent anyone from knowing his whereabouts. Lupin uses the Marauder's map to discover Peter in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. School subjects. For many 10-year-olds, turning 11 held the faint hope that a letter from Hogwarts might actually appear in the mail. As amazing as this school admission would seem to any child who grew up reading or watching Harry Potter, when examined closely, the school's whole premise is a bit shaky. First of all, it's difficult to determine what goes into making a powerful wizard, based on the fact that most spells consist of 1 or 2 words, and that Hermione is no more powerful than Harry. It seems that academics doesn't necessarily factor into a wizard's ability to perform magic. This begs the question, other than wizarding theory, what do Harry Potter and his peers learn at school? They definitely aren't learning traditional school subjects like math, literature, or geography. This is particularly strange, as many wizards end up living their lives among muggles, and would need to learn the necessary skills to prevent from drawing attention. Though muggles study is an elective, it's impossible that it would encompass all the subjects muggles would know. Even if they remain in the wizarding world, how would these young wizards acquire any type of job skills? Did we miss any plot holes or theories? Let us know in the comments. And that's all for the 10 plot holes in Harry Potter that left fans hanging. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to The Things to catch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.